Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. I am super stoked to have you here today because we are starting the first of 4 episodes in this lead generation series. I kind of wanted to get back to basics. I was inspired by this maybe I think a week ago, and I really wanted to go gung-ho and full force. There are a lot of things that we talk about in our travel industry, that things that you can do to be successful within this business. But if you don't have clients and if we don't go back to basics, you do not have a business. So giving you kind of like the lay of the land of these next 4 weeks, I am batch recording because I am going to be helping with an Alma Waterways fam with the amazing people over at Travel Marketplace and Travel Market Report. So pre-recording all of these. So we are first going to start out with how to generate leads for the Family Travel Advisor. Then we're going to head over to romance, food and wine, and last but definitely not least, luxury travel. So we're kind of doing this, we're making a tour around the world. Now, I will say you're probably going to be able to use ideas from any of these niches for any one of these other niches. I wouldn't say there's any exclusivity here. I would also let you know that yes, you can have romance, luxury, and family, food, and wine. Well, yes. I'm like, maybe not for the young'uns, but there are different ways to be able to do all these different things. This is not a definitive guide. I just want you to be inspired. If you are in a rut right now and you are trying to build your business or get leads for your business and you don't even know where to start, I am hoping that this is going to be that launching off point for you. When we're talking about the 4 phases of travel business, we're starting out with foundation. So hopefully you've gotten that taken care of. You signed on with a host or a consortia. You've got your insurance in place. You've got your legal contracts in place and all that. The next step, you may want to think about like logos and things like that. I would want you, instead of like thinking about all that creative, which is still important to do, what's more important to do is to be getting clients so that they could pay for that stuff to happen for you. That is the whole point of having a business, is to be able to generate some sort of income, and you can't do that without clients. So if wave season has kind of been a dud for you, like this episode and these next couple of episodes are for you. If you're needing like some fresh blood, or if you are changing perhaps who you want to be working with, I think there's going to be tons of value in each one of these episodes, even if you don't specialize in one of these niches or any of these niches. So I have compiled some Post-it notes where I have a bunch of ideas on for each of these niches. I am also going to do some real world research. So I'm going to start off each episode where I'm going to share some of the ideas that I have for you, and we're going to get really into the mind and things that are going on with these different niches. I'm going to share some of those ideas with you, and then we're going to jump into different locations around the United States. So I've done Southeast is Atlanta, Georgia, Northeast is Rochester, New York, Midwest is Indianapolis, Indiana, and then for the West we have Phoenix, Arizona, kind of like a good jumble of the United States here so that you can see kind of like what events are happening locally. So yes, I am going to go hop into Google and we're going to search for real-time events. It's going to be real-time networking events, and then I'll try and look specifically for those niche type of events so that you can see and also generate some ideas. So without further ado, let's generate some leads. And we are going to be working on the family niche. Now, again, this is not a definitive guide. There are so many routes that you can take with families. Is this a family with no kids? Is this a family with younger kids? Family with older kids? Family, is this family meaning parent, grandparents, and children? So take this, like I'm gonna like do my best to kind of like give the big bam jumble of everything here. And so let's get into it. Like when we're thinking about families, and when I think about my friends with families, because I mean, I have my family, I don't have children though, so I come from it with a different standpoint. But when I think about my closest friends that have children, they are strapped for time, they're strapped for money, they're pretty stressed out making sure that all the things, all the details are taken care of. They're also wanting to make memories and make really impactful memories. And I'm going to come out of it with the way, like how I was raised. Like my mom did so much to make sure that we had amazing memories as a family growing up, whether it was like going to the local theme parks or the petting zoo, or if it was like doing crafty things at home or at an art studio or things like that. There were so many things that like I can look back on my childhood, and I know not everybody's is as rosy as that, but I'm going to take it with that lens that I know a lot of parents either want to recreate amazing childhoods that they had or want to create childhoods that they only wish they could have lived when they were younger. And so thinking about like this limit of time, this limit of really money too, because children are expensive from what I hear. And so like even thinking about that, like there's a difference, like thinking about like that parent or grandparent mindset. Somebody like myself who does not have children, I already have enough on my plate. I could not imagine like also adding all of the activities, all of the teachings, all of the learnings that I also have to do for a little one. So you have like your single adult, and then you have an adult that also has a family. But I also want you to think about there are many adults who take care of their parents now too. So that caretaking responsibility, and boy, if you are a parent to littles and caretaker to older adults, that is a lot. So there's just so much that you have to think about. I'm thinking about doctor's appointments, meds, getting these meds refilled, making sure therapy's happening, getting them to practice and all that. There's just a lot in the mind of an adult who is thinking about their family and doing things for their family. So where can you meet some of these people who would fit this family niche if that really is your focus, so that you can either generate like immediate needs, they become your clients or your future clients, or two, they can refer you off to some really amazing people who, because they may not need your services or they may not need your services right now. And they also this is the amazing benefit of doing lead generation, of doing relationship building, is that the more people that know your name, know your business, the better, because it's kind of like that sphere, that circle of influence. And that's really what was getting me stuck in my own way when I didn't want to actively do some networking. That holds you back. That stunts the growth of your business. You have to build relationships. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And if you have limited time, if you are a parent or a caretaker, it's even more difficult. So you have to get creative, especially for your travel business to thrive. So I am thinking about, first and foremost, those kids' activities. When I think of my friends who have families, who have younger children, their kids are involved in baseball, they're involved in softball, there's tennis, there's Irish dance, there's soccer, there's all these sorts of kids activities. And guess who's at kids activities? Other parents, other people who have families. And so that is just going to be a natural way for you to get this is part of building friends, also building on your own network. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so do any of these activities have ways that maybe you can sponsor the team? Do they have fundraising events that maybe your business can sponsor something? And just attending the event. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about putting money out there, but also just being in the room is super helpful. And that's sometimes the first step that we need to make, is to be in the room or the outdoor room, especially when we're talking about outdoor activities. PTA, school functions. Have you attended some of these things before? If you haven't, nudge, nudge, let's start attending some of these events. And I always think back to my Catholic school days. So if you didn't know, I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade, and then high school was all public school, my choice. I needed a little bit of breathing room there. But I will never forget, in Catholic school, we would have an annual silent or active, there was an annual auction that always used to happen. And so when I think about these auctions happening, I'm also thinking about different businesses would sponsor things for these auctions to happen so that people had things to buy and all that. So can you put a travel basket together? Can you donate your travel business services to an auction? Can you donate a piece of luggage? And even though that's not direct business, you have to think about there's the visibility. The people in the room are going to know you donated that and you have this business. And so if anybody thinks of travel, you should now be one of the first people that they should be thinking about because of that extra visibility that happened. I also think about just the different events that happen in the season. We're coming upon Easter. I know that a local neighborhood by me, they put on Easter events. They put on spring fling events. There's a Halloween event. There's a Christmas event. And so all of these events, they need vendors to bring to the spirit of these different festivals and the different events. So could you host a booth at one of these events? Could you pay for that? Could you pay for your spot in a bulletin or something to promote the event that's happening? I also think about maybe you don't have the resources yet to be able to promote and sponsor and have a booth set up. But if you're going to an event where there's other families, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of family activities and just natural conversation is going to be happening. If your children are doing some sort of activity together, parents are waiting. They have time to kill as their children are doing this activity. Get out of your comfort zone and start building on that conversation and start meeting people that way. That's I feel that's as soon as you've gone to an event, that's an easy way to start okay, just get me to the event first. And then this next event, I'll start branching out. And then this next event, I'll host a booth. If you need to do baby steps, do baby steps. I want you to do whatever is going to be easiest for you to get you to actually do the thing. And so then thinking about Catholic schoolgirl, the church that we had would have something called a church bulletin. And in that church bulletin, there would be information on the masses and upcoming events for the church, but then there was also an advertising section. So do you attend a church or know a church nearby you where you could buy ad space in one of those bulletins and again get increased visibility? I also know there's certain HOAs by me that you can do the same. They have a monthly newsletter, monthly magazine that they send out to the people within that HOA community, and you can buy space in those magazines also. It's all about building up, we're generating leads. And so how creative can we be? And so I would hope that you also know, even if you're not a family specialist, you can use this for the other niches and any other niches that I'm not going to be talking about directly. I'm kind of just pinpointing, I know, some of the most popular niches that are within our industry, but all of these are, maybe not all of these ideas, but a lot of these ideas can be used interconnected. And I hope some of these ideas that I'm bringing out to you too kind of bring you inspiration to be oh my gosh, they do this event. I've never thought to ask if they need sponsors or anything like that. So here's your sign to put yourself out there, put your business out there for the good of your business. I know there are things that are family night outs that they will put on events or activities for families going out. I know that there's a family conference at the local convention center by me. So that might be another thing. Again, you can sponsor it, have an ad at, or just go to this event and start meeting other families that are there. What kinds of activities? I know the big thing for parents is to figure out, okay, what are we doing this weekend? Because I need like some breather room. Like I can't be in this house anymore, or the kids have been driving me up the wall. Like I need to do something else. So what are some like family friendly activities? Now, this might be a great time. Like, I mean, we're in spring, so it might be a little bit late right now for any sort of spring events. But are there summer events, especially like when we're thinking about summertime, summer camps? Are there summer camp, like maybe weekly summer camps, and like you meet up with the parents or anything like that? Do summer camps need any sorts of donations that you could put your business logo or anything on? I'm also thinking like we're thinking ahead. So back to school time is also going to have a lot of family events. And then, my favorite time of year, fall, is chock filled with a lot of family events. So kind of like divide and conquer. Which ones do you want to go to as a family, and which ones might be more beneficial for you to attend as a vendor, or might be beneficial for you just have to pay for your logo to be out there or anything like that. I also know, like I'm thinking about pageants and competitions and things like that. They also, like, you can have either vendor booths at these types of things, or you can like sponsor one of the kids that is in the magazine or anything like that, and have your logo, your business logo, in the magazines also. So what kinds of events like that are available or will be happening? Those amazing fall festivals. And then like I also think about these cons, the conferences. There are so many like amazing, like there was a 90s conference that happened recently, and you all know all of the, I love all my nerdy stuff like MegaCon, Comic-Con. Those are family type of events. Like the whole family is getting dropped off or going to this event. These are perfect for having some family fun around. All right, so those are some of the immediate thoughts that I think about in my brain and all that. I also think about, I know a lot of people will have sponsorships, or you'll be able to do like volunteering and fundraising. And I think those are all like really great ways to not only like connect with your families, but also, again, get your face out there. If you take anything from this series, get your face out there. That is the important thing. So now let's go to some of these ideas that are in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're here in Atlanta, Georgia with family. Now, I will say, I am just now looking up just networking events, straight networking events. They're happening at the time of recording, which is mid-March. So not great for you for right this second, but still it's going to give you, at the very least, some ideas of things to be looking out for. So it looks like in Atlanta, there's something called the Women in Business Networking. And so that is perfect, especially like women in business probably have families when we're thinking about that. There is a Women in Business Networking Conference that's happening. What is this one? There's something happening at a cupcakery. Let me see. It's called MIB International. I'm using a little caution because I know like some things can mean other things, and I want to be respectful of things. Let me see. This one, it says, join your networking leader and community of like-minded women at our networking events, where our focus is to leave you empowered, inspired, and connected. All our events are child-friendly. We recognize the struggles of a mom in business, and we're here to support you all the way. Well, that would be, and especially great, like if you're being a family travel entrepreneur. So this is called MIB International Networking. So that might be like an international networking group too. So you might be able to find MIB events elsewhere, not just in Atlanta. And like, so I straight just did a Google search event just for networking events. There's a speed networking happening at Serendipity Labs private offices and co-working. I think a co-working place is going to be a really great place to meet people there also. There's the Atlanta Business and Real Estate Mixer, a North Atlanta Business Networking Lunch, Women to Women or Woman to Woman Networking in Atlanta, Startup Chow. Ooh, Startup Chowdown. What's a Startup Chowdown? Let's open that one. There's business networking by referral. So as you can see, like there is a lot of event, and I know Atlanta's a bigger of a city. So, but you have to do the same thing with your local area. What events are happening in your local area? If there's a bigger city that's a little bit closer to you, what's happening in that area? All right, we are going. So the Atlanta Startup Chowdown is at the Atlanta Tech Village. Whether you're a member or a guest, everyone is welcome. Our Fridays are full of serendipitous interactions, we're inviting you to join. You don't have to be an Atlanta Tech Village member to share a meal with fellow innovators, entrepreneurs, and other cool people doing cool things. Startup Chowdown is the largest weekly gathering of tech startups in Atlanta, averaging 100 plus people every Friday. No formal networking, love that. Just a casual catered lunch, grab some food and a seat, and introduce yourself to someone new. Tickets are only $10. Wow, this is amazing. That, like, I would be interested in attending that if I was in Atlanta. So it is not hard to find different networking events. Now, I'm going to Google family events so that we can get an idea of like what might be some sort of family things that are happening in this local area. So actually, yeah, there's a couple of websites that popped up. There's discoveratlanta.com, there's atlanta.kidsoutandAbout.com. Some of the events that are on Google, and this is also like a plug if you have your Google business profile, put events on your Google business profile so that other people can see them when like they're searching for events near them. There is, I don't know what Good Kid is. Let me open that up. There's Twilight Tots at Zoo Atlanta. New Kids on the, I think that's a concert. New Kids on the Block. Spanish for Children, that might be a really great event. Family and Friends Sunday, let me open this up. Building Blocks for Healthy and Strong Families, I'm going to open that up. There is a St. Patrick's Day event. I'm not going to open that up because it's going to be past the point, but you can see like if there's some sort of holiday that's coming up, and our next holiday is going to be Easter. I think it's a little bit too soon, so I would kind of focus on maybe like Mother's Day, which is coming up in May. Rodeo family event. Okay, let's open that up. There's a lot of baseball games in here. So I'm going to open up some of the family events that I found. Oh, Good Kid is this. Oh, I think this is not what I thought it was. Is this a concert? Clearly I'm not in the up and up, but I think, yeah. Good Kid, This Can't Be the End tour. That's a concert. So I'm not going to say that's a good place for networking and all that. Though there's probably there might be other, I don't know what Good Kid is. So please excuse my ignorance on that. Then there's the local zoo has something called Twilight Tots. Bring your littlest ones for an evening of exploring the zoo and observing animals after hours. Enjoy a mini tour of the zoo with the zoo educators stopping along the way to sing songs, hear animal stories, and dance like an animal. This program is designed for family and children ages 0 through 5 with opportunities for exploration for 0 to 2. And if you are in Atlanta, they do have upcoming dates of April 9th and May 30th. It's from 4:30 to 6 p.m. The cost is $26 per parent. But if you're a member, that goes down a little bit. Each child is $5. So I think like that would be a great family outing and a place that you can meet other families at. Spanish for Children. Let's open up what this is. Each class is full of fun and with total immersion in Spanish. Children will learn phrases and words through games, music, crafts, and stories. This allows them to get involved in Spanish with ease. How amazing is this? Not only just for general everyday life to be able to have another language and pick up another language and have your children learn this, but especially, like, can you imagine, like, what if there's, like, groups of family that are at these events who are actively, like, looking to travel, and that's why they want to learn a different language. So that is super cool, and that even makes me think of, like, another place where, like, you can find leads is maybe partnering with a language center, a learning language center. because people are typically learning different languages for lots of different reasons. And I'm going to assume that one of them is because they also don't want to go in empty-handed when they're traveling abroad. So, yeah. What kind of partnership, or can you do like business cards at a learning language center or something like that? Then there is a Family and Friends Day. It looks like it's in partnership with one of the churches. It says it's Kingdom Fellowship Ministry, Family and Friends Day, a celebration of family and togetherness. And so there's a website for that, but I think like that would be a stellar place to be meeting possible leads for your family travel business. Building blocks for healthy and strong families. I feel like this might be like almost like a parent. Let's see. A fun, interactive, empowering event for teens created by teens. Participants can expect inspiring workshops, games, and activities. So that is super cool. So we have a different age group there for teens. I am also thinking for people who might be in assisted living, who might be in situations that they have older parents in some sort of like nursing home facility or anything like that. I'm sure that they've also got to be doing like family events on top of, like regular visits to these places. They've got to be doing some things for families that families could enjoy just a little bit and have a little bit of fun, especially around certain holidays and things like that. All right, now we go to the Starkville. Oh, it's a Rotary Rodeo. I love that it's partnered with Rotary. I'm a Rotary International member. So this actually happened back in February, but it was still popping up. This is going to be like Rotary, I think, is a great place. And I'll talk a little bit more when we're talking about our luxury clients, our luxury lead generation. But Rotary is a really great place to be meeting a lot of different people. On the website that I'm at, which is starkville.org, I'm also seeing there's music on Main. So it looks like there's a music festival coming out. There's a dog show coming out. And then there's a spring open house, which makes me think of like, what is it called? Like the women's conferences and things like that, or the home and garden shows, which I think would be really great places. I've seen some travel businesses have vendor booths there. This might also be like if it's out of the budget, because sometimes a sponsorship of some of these really big shows that come to the big convention centers, they are hefty price tags with them. So this might be also something that you partner with a BDM and be like, if I just focus on selling your product, can you help me with some marketing dollars so that I can still promote my business while we're promoting your product and all that too? So that would be like another really great thing. Let me see. I'm going to go to Discover Atlanta. Events. Let me see. Yes. What kinds of events are coming up in Atlanta? We're just checking out their events calendar. Events in Atlanta this particular week. It looks like at the Science Center. The Science Center. That is a really amazing place that I would recommend to find leads. And again, it's not that you're going to these places to be like, hey, you want to buy travel? You want to buy travel? You want to get in front of people who would be interested. You want to build relationships with people who would be interested in the type of work that you do. Again, we're building friends. We're building contacts. We're building relationships here. There's the Jazz Festival. There's a fair. Oh my gosh, thinking about fairgrounds, that is a genius place because there will be tons of other families there. Parades for different events. There's St. Patrick's Day parades, but of course, like I'm thinking about Thanksgiving parades, Christmas parades. There's a science festival. There's a team. I'm going to say this wrong. I think Team Heidi Giving Kitchen signature fundraiser. A balloon museum, women's comedy film festival, Atlanta Language Cafe at Elsewhere Park, trivia, theater, Woodstock Arts Theater. I told you there's a preschool silent auction. I told you these types of silent auction things are going to be super important, and I feel it can be like super lucrative in terms of getting in front of the right people. So those are the kind of like coming events in Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta also has a Comic-Con here. Look, I am just diving into the deep hole right now. So those are like 3 different things. So I've given you some of my own personal ideas. I went into Google and found like some networking ideas. And then I also went into Google and found some family ideas of things that are happening in these different areas. Again, I'm hoping that these have really sparked ideas. Please share if you have any other ideas that you would like to add to this conversation over in the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Facebook group. If you are also like, oh my gosh, you've just given me a bazillion ideas and I'm not sure where to go, I also encourage you to schedule a one-on-one power hour session with me. I am like springing like the fountain. The fountain is open here with so many ideas for you. And if you want something that is custom and tailored to exactly what your business is, maybe it's we have to find more events for older adults. Maybe it's we have to find more events like for solo families and things like that. But I am more than happy to jump on a call with you and strategize that out so you are not like, I am in information overload and I need some clarity, and I will be the one to help give you some clarity. So I'll put the link down in the show description so that we can hop on a marketing power hour and figure out your unique and personalized way for generating leads within your travel business. That is all for me this week. So make sure to join us. Next week, we're talking about romance travel, followed by food and wine travel, followed by luxury travel. So we'll see ya. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.